Hi guys, in today's video I'm gonna share with you how we can do a double crochet stitch with no holes. It's also known as the link double crochet stitch. I'm using worsted weight yarn with size 6mm hook. At the end of the video I'm gonna explain why I went with a bigger size. So to begin, we're gonna crochet any number of stitches that we want to start with. At the end of the foundation chain, we add 2 more chains. That is to start the first row. We're gonna skip the first chain from the hook and insert the hook into the second chain. So we insert the hook, we draw a loop, and then right away we go into the next stitch and we draw another loop. Now we have 3 loops on the hook. We yarn over and go through 2 loops and then yarn over and go through the last 2 loops. This is the first link double crochet stitch. Now to start the second stitch, we're gonna insert the hook as shown into the loop of the stitch that we have just made. So we insert the hook into the loop and we yarn over and draw a loop, and then go into the next chain and draw a loop. So now we have the 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and go through 2, and then yarn over and go through 2. Second stitch made. Again, we insert our hook into that loop of the stitch that we have just done. We pull a loop and then we insert the hook into the following chain and we yarn over and draw a loop. And then we finish our double crochet stitch as usual. So we finished the row with the same steps. This is what our first row looks like. It's kind of look like we're doing two rows of single crochet at the same time. It's so beautiful with no holes at all. Then to start the second row, we're gonna do 2 chains, turn our work, skip the first chain and insert the hook into the second chain, yarn over and draw a loop, and then insert the hook into the first stitch from the previous row and yarn over and draw a loop, and then finish the double crochet stitch as usual. So that will be the first stitch in the second row. As we have done in the first row, we're going to continue by inserting the hook into the loop of the stitch that we have just made. We draw a loop and then we insert the hook into the next stitch and draw a loop. Then we finish the double crochet stitch as usual. And then you finish the second row with the same steps. So the second row is the repetition for the link double crochet stitch. You can repeat that row for as many rows as you want. This is what the second row looks like. Again, to start a new row, you chain 2, you skip the first chain from the hook and you start working into the second chain. You insert your hook into that chain, you pull a loop, and then you work into the first stitch by inserting the hook and then pulling a loop, and then you get the 3 loops on the hook. You finish your double crochet stitch as usual. The reason why I went with a bigger hook size is that working with a link double crochet stitch produces a stiff project or a stiff product at the end. So to avoid that, I went with a 6mm hook, although I usually use 5mm hook with worsted yarn. So this swatch is made of linked double crochet stitches, and if you compare it to a regular double crochet stitch, you can tell the difference. Linked double crochet stitch has no holes, it's a compact and kind of thick compared to the regular double crochet stitch. These two swatches are of the same number of chains and the same number of rows, and you can tell the difference in sizes right away because the linked double crochet stitch produces a compact product at the end. Again, consider using a bigger size of a hook when you're working with that stitch. And this is it for today's video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know if you have any comments down in the comment section. See you next time.